Howdy moles, you want to play games on the go. That's why we got retro emulation handhelds in the first place. That's the whole point of them being a handheld. You want to take them with you where you go, but you're someone who doesn't want to carry a backpack or other bag with you. Maybe you have a purse and it's not big either, so you need something small. Ideally, pick up and play, so you're in your games as fast as possible. Well, I think I have just the thing. This is the RG28XX micro handheld by Anbernic. It's very obviously a knockoff of the GB Micro, the GBA that we all wanted but couldn't get, or didn't get. Thankfully, this is much cheaper than a micro. It's only $30 and sometimes dips lower on sales. I got this one for a Halloween sale for I believe $25. Other micro handhelds do not get this cheap. Many micro handhelds float around the $50-$60 mark, and those are great, like the Miyu Mini. It's hard to beat one-handed Pokemon, but it's right on that cusp of being way too small, especially if you need to play something with two hands. That's why I recommend the RG28XX. The 28XX is very small with a 2.8-inch screen. Any bigger and it's not a micro handheld. Any smaller and it's better for ants. I know a lot of bugs that like the RG Nano, but this wide form factor is what makes it so perfect. If you think the Miyu Mini might be too small, but you still need a small handheld, then this one is it. It's 5 inches long and 2 inches tall. This will not only fit in skinny jeans with no issue, but even women's pants that have those crappy half-size pockets. I've tested it. I've put it into various pockets when people weren't looking. This makes it my ultimate go-to device. It goes everywhere with me, which means no more doom scrolling in public. And considering I'm so small, this actually makes it a very big device for me. It's kind of like playing on like a 40-inch TV for y'all. It does have some smaller buttons. They're about half the size of Xbox buttons, and the D-pad is a little smaller than a GBA SP D-pad. It's not a precision D-pad. You can definitely play anything with this, but if you're super specific about D-pad behavior for things like platformers and fighters, then this won't be a good one for you. It's small, but it also has a lot of travel. But for everything else, this is plenty good. If you're wanting to grind RPGs while waiting for the bus, this is the handheld. It has a 4:3 screen aspect ratio, which means it's best for the widest range of devices. Even smaller screens like Game Boy are still much larger here than they are on the Nano. So it's a very easy recommend for people thinking about the Nano but worried that it's too small. A cool thing about it is that out of the box, it has GB Micro overlays on it by default for Game Boy Advance games. So even though it doesn't fill out the screen perfectly like a true 3:2 screen, the overlay is additive to the experience. The 28 also has all of the buttons that you'll need for everything it can play. It can play PS1 and below flawlessly. It has a D-pad, 4 face buttons, select, start, 4 shoulder buttons. The others are a macro button, volume, and those are on the sides and receded a bit into the device to prevent accidental presses, and a reset button. Headphone jack and mono speaker. It doesn't have analog sticks, but few PS1 games actually supported the sticks, and even less needed them to function. It comes in some very cool colors. You don't often see orange, so I of course got that. I love me some colorful plastic, almost as much as I love me colorful microplastics. Lots of space on the back for stickers, and Etsy has some accessories for it if you want different buttons or a lanyard. One big problem though is that it lacks Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. So despite having HDMI mini out, you can't fully consoleize it with a Bluetooth controller. The lack of Wi-Fi means that you can't use retro achievements or an art scraper either. But at this size, that's hard to do. Anbernic said that they were going to put Wi-Fi in these, but the signal caused interference with the speaker. But this is an out and about device, so you weren't gonna connect to the Wi-Fi the whole time anyway. I think this handheld is perfect for all the lady moles out there whose sexist pants can't fit their phones. I'm telling you right now, pants companies are probably colluding with purse manufacturers to make more money. But this isn't a conspiracy video. This handheld is also perfect for anyone who just wants to game on the go. I'd say it's a great fit for newbie moles too. If you're a Papa mole though, your hands are probably too big for this, so I'd suggest you get something like the RG28XX or the RG40XX. Those will fill out your Papa mole hands no problem. For games, I think this is probably the best for playing lots and lots of RPGs. This can easily be your Pokemon handheld. It was also mine for a while too. But there are tons of RPGs on the PS1 that will also work and fill out the screen perfectly. I don't recommend PSP on this at all. It's way too small. Lastly, for CFW or fan-made operating systems, I suggest MuOS. Mu has the shortest boot time of only 13 seconds, so you'll get into your games quickly. Stock is perfectly fine, but if you're wanting speed, it's MuOS. MuOS will also have a music player if you want to use this as an MP3 player, which it's a good option. I'd recommend doing a single boot card or 2 small SD cards for dual boot, left card for your OS and right for your games. You can get a double pack at Walmart for like $8 from their store brand on with 2 ends. They're better than the SD card that comes with it, and they will both be 32 gigabytes. You don't need a lot of space on this. The entire GBA library is less than 2 gigs. PS1 games will take up more space, but you should only put on 5 or so at a time. I'd really recommend only putting a few games on this in general at a time. The more games you have, the longer it'll take you to get into one. So these micro handhelds thrive with a smaller selection. There are a lot of drawbacks to this handheld, but I mark them all up to being general flaws with playing on a micro handheld. Most micros don't have Wi-Fi or Bluetooth, and if they do, they cost more. If you want more power or stereo sound, then you're not getting a micro. If you want it to be more comfortable, you need a bigger handheld. This is the best experience that you can get on a micro handheld without paying double the cost. This is the best cheap handheld there is. So I hope you all like it if you get it. I think it's a great first handheld in general, but if you don't think you'll like a small screen, I would just say don't get it. But personally, it's my everyday carry just because it's so small. Either way, whatever you do, thanks for watching. I'm reviewing another small handheld once it comes in, so sub for that if you're interested. If you're curious about an even smaller handheld, check out this one about the RG Nano. Don't forget to tip your YouTuber. I take likes and subs, and I'll see you molies later. Bye.